All right, look. I swear to you that I love the Paper Magician series. I really do. The Plastic Magician was so cute, and I hope we get more with that main character. I like Sione's personality. I like Emery's personality. I think it's because I want to teach. Like, even when you're in college, like even if y'all are both above the age of consent, that doesn't make it any better because for the person who is the teacher, you could completely ruin your career if this goes badly. Like if that kid, yes, because they're a kid, if that kid changes their mind, or like if you give that person a bad grade and then they decide to change their mind, like this could go so badly for you. Why would you even want to risk it? Like, you could ruin your entire career if you sleep with one of your students. Like, my guy, if someone finds out and reports you, that's like my only complaint, like my only like solid complaint about the about the Paper Magician series. He is your teacher. I don't care if you went trampezing through his heart. Also, he doesn't know you that well. You guys have only been, like, in this relationship, like the teacher-student relationship, for 3 years. And also, it's a teacher-student relationship. It's not really implied that they talk outside of that. And, like, if they do, it's about whatever the fuck is going on because something went wrong. Again, because Sione is a magnet for trouble. Because Emery is a magnet for trouble. Like, no. Master Magician is the last book in the Paper Magician series by Charlie N. Holmberg. It came out in 2015, and when we left off, Sione had killed a blood boy, and now she knows how to get multiple types of magic. She can unbind herself to one magic and bind herself to another type of magic. I swear to you, I love this book. I just can't. Well, if I had to rate these books, which I also think I'm going to start doing, I'm going to rate each book in the series, like, in the order of how much I like them. I think it would be, and I'm including the companion book, it would be Plastic Magician, Paper Magician, Glass Magician, Master Magician. Yeah. She can't do it simultaneously, but she can unbind herself from one magic and bind herself to another magic. For right now, she's bound herself back to paper. Emery is peripherally aware of this. He doesn't want to talk about it. Her test is in a month. This is 2 years after Glass Magician. She's still having nightmares about her friend's death. Emery, like, is in love with her and shit, and he's kissing her head and stuff. Yeah. Sometimes she sleeps in his bed because she has nightmares about Delilah. Someone else will be testing her, thank God, because Emery is biased, which he said would happen in the second book. Sione didn't listen to him. So this dude named Bailey, that's his last name, he's going to do her test, and she's going to be staying with him for a month, and she's got like a list of things that she has to do in order to pass the test. And yeah, Emery also bullied Bailey, so that should be fun. I don't think Bailey chose Paper Magician either, but that's where he ended up. There isn't very much whimsy in this book because, like, Plastic Magician was the most whimsical, but even that book still had terrible implications because the lady who they made the arm for, she'd lost her fucking arm. Like, what is whimsical about these books? So Sione goes to see magician Avioski, who's moved on from the school because after losing Delilah, she just can't, which I don't blame her for. I feel like teachers who stay at the schools that have suffered from school shootings are my heroes because I certainly couldn't do it. I don't even think I could teach after that. There's another blood boy who is the lapdog of the dead one. He out on the loose. All of this is Emery's ex-wife. All of this is her fault because if she hadn't gone after Emery, none of this would have happened. They'd be halfway across the continent right now. Anyway, Sione learns some stuff. because she can't keep her nose out of any of this. So she goes after Blood Boy. She wants to know if he left England, and he went north, so not, like, they didn't say how north, so I'm assuming that means he's in, like, Northumbria. I can't think of what it's called now. All I can think of is Northumbria. I have no idea what it's called now. But yeah, not Scotland, basically. Bailey gives her 58 things to complete before her test, and she has to do it or she'll be reassigned. There have been complaints, not necessarily about her or Thane, just like in general, mixed gender things, mentorships, teacher students, whatever. She gets into a spat with Bailey, and one of her birds that she sent out to find Blood Boy, it comes back, and so much for studying. So Blood Boy finds her at night looking for him, and he escapes, and he wants to leave London, and Blood Boy wants her dead. Also, Emery this entire time has been writing her letters. Sione's been writing letters back. Bailey's been stealing them, which is fun. And she says that their relationship is none of Bailey's business. And it's like, actually, it's everybody's business because it violates all the rules. I'm sorry. I got a little bit angry. Sione and Emery come separately to find Blood Boy, and they talk for a moment, and whoops, it's a trap. Blood Boy wants to know how she does the magic thing, but, like, the reason Sione can unbind herself from paper is because it's man-made, and, like, there's an element that, like, paper originally comes from wood, so there's an element you can remove yourself from, and, like, glass comes from sand, and, like, all that stuff. Metal has its thing, and, like, smelters and stuff like that, but there is no original element that humans come from because we're made of so much shit. And, like, for the purposes of the book, there's no one single element that, like, humans majority comprise. Like, I'm not a scientist, but I'm pretty sure that humans are majority carbon, or, like, at least carbon-based. But for the purposes of the book, that doesn't matter. It's also, like, 1912 in the book, so who cares? But yeah, so he can't unbind himself from magic, which is kind of ironic. The idea of one of the blood people wanting to unbind themselves from that is actually kind of cool. And, like, they also have blood people who, like, are on their side and, like, help them, like, in hospitals and shit like that. Yeah. They kill him. MG Avioski learns about the magic, and there's a moment where with Sione's little sister, and it's kind of cute. Sione has her test, and she's able to pass and actually get MG Bailey to smile, and the book ends with Emery asking her to marry him. I guess technically she's not a student anymore. Don't get me wrong. If, like, you had a 20-year-old teacher when you were 13 and, like, 20 years have passed, you're both different people now. So that doesn't bug me. I mean, like, if you're 21 and your teacher is, like, an unmarried 40-year-old and you two decide while you're in your senior year of college taking that person's class that you guys are going to be in a relationship together, that's when it bugs me. Like, when they no longer have any effect on your grades, what's the problem? And, like, if they no longer are writing you recommendations, what's the problem? But, like, if they're still writing you recommendations, or they still impact your grade, or you're still in public school, or, like, you're still a minor, it also still bothers me even if the student is older than the teacher or the same age as the teacher, because they are still your teacher. There's a power dynamic there. If Emery had been the one to test her, I think I would have lost it. But, like, I actually would have... I have a physical copy of that book at my house. I would have ripped it up. Like, I swear to God. It's still cute. I fail to see the whimsy when there is murder in this book. Also, I did it again. Sweep goes underneath First Impressions, and the Master Magician goes underneath Dragon Assassin in between Dragon Assassin and of Covens and Packs. Am I asking too much? Like, it's a cute book, and I like Charlie N. Holmberg's writing. None of the rest of her books really seem to interest me, but I like her writing. And I don't particularly have a favorite author. I just have favorite books.